Where to first, Commander? Enray Rames, Zeranium Manufactory, or Outpost Opportunity?
What caused the schism between the Protectorate and the Order? The Consul tried to kill presiding Bishop Ruth Basara.
Wait, don't tell me you're one of those drones from Auntie's Choice.
Easy, friend. We're all in this together.
You just...
You ever cough so hard your ankles hurt? I'll try not to sneeze on you, but no promises. Law, finally. Real relief for my fake symptoms.
Let's see it then.
Well, ain't this healthcare in a nutshell? If it's bits you want, you can partake of what I scrounged together on account of folks taking pity on me. You have my gratitude, stranger.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Hmm? Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff. Oh, really? Like they strung a few words together in a row and it all made sense? That's a marked improvement on earlier. Guessing they left out a bunch, though. Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilized pugilists, and a cicanid to feed.
Keeping everything above board? I hope not.
Look, your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte's nose.
Don't feel like no stand-in.
Welcome. Have you come to bask in the Order's knowledge?
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Oh yeah, Duarte. He's former aunties like me. He was underneath for a few hours. Or, no, that was before. This time it was Rollo Nast? No. Gert Valkenburg. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone. So they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
Anti's Church just suffered an involuntary 15% reduction in workforce. An unfortunate surprise to all personnel. Something that will never happen.
The meaning of life is numeric, and we are the keepers of the equation.
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings. Talk about close quarters.
Just be grateful for what you have.
And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the Crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. They must be exceptionally pleased with the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy. Numbers here are pretty compelling. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors. Longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to it I shall get.
How do you do, stranger? Always nice to see a friendly face around Matriarch's Mercy. Though it's a pity I can't lend more aid to our downtrodden collective. I'm just a humble taxidermist. More than whoever butchered your friend. Do you need any touch-ups on that appendage?
Not unless you think a pair of glass eyes and glued-on antlers will help. Sorry.
But something tells me you didn't come to talk shop. What's this about, Agent? Am I in trouble? What? And you think that's me? Listen, friend, a little skill with needle and thread does not make me a qualified medical professional.
Look, this place ain't exactly crawling with experts, and Doc needs all the help he can get. Even if all you do is suture wounds, your services will be invaluable.
Have it your way, then. I know when I'm being voluntold. But you better make it worth my while. Before I agree to anything, I need sprat corpses. Several. And no victims of violence, please. My art depends on the quality of the sleeve. I used to source all of my sprats from a local trapper, Frankie Billings. No idea if she's still in business. Word has it she's out north in Auntie's Choice territory, so watch yourself. Fresh being the operative word. My thanks, stranger.
I remember this place before the war. Functioning tramiculars. Peaceful silence of the cannons.
I can't recall the last time this region was silent.
Keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
Stranger, the Order bids you welcome, but also warnings. In light of the recent attack on Auntie's Choice, you may want to make haste to Matriarch's Mercy. It's just down the road here.
So it was one of our bases that got hit. Well, I'm gonna be sick.
I can't rightly say, and that is rather concerning in its own right. It seems our temporary ceasefire with the corporatists may be at its end. Yes, this was an active war zone until recently, and now seems like it may be so again. Not quite certain why the attack was launched, but that is not under my purview. I'd surmise that when Auntie's Choice realized they couldn't get through our defensive measures, they wisely chose the path of diplomacy. Seems I was mistaken.
Well, it weren't our artillery that made that strike. I can tell you that much.
They must have done something to provoke an attack, which is why your safest path now is the one that leads to Matriarch's mercy. The Order controls everything south of this point, but the rest is beset with various dangers. Zealots, scavengers, creatures, and corporatists. Well, not certain about that last one anymore after the attack. Yep, mad to the last one. People will turn to anything to ease their discomfort during times of crisis, I suppose. They're both unstable and violent. Auntie's forces call them scrappers, and uses them for just that, gathering scrap materials. Excessive abuse of stimulants has made them severely unbalanced and prone to violence. They've also been known to pose as refugees, to lure their victims into ambushes. There are several camps of them northwest of here. I'd strongly advise keeping your distance. The creatures are of the genus Verachnid. They are large enough to kill a full-grown human, and exceedingly willing to do so.
May all your endeavors elicit expected results.
Architect. I hope this does not turn back into an active war. This is the Order's anti-air control center. If you don't have specific business here, kindly keep moving.
some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zeranium Manufactory 7 presently and for an indeterminate time is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the Abbot? Well, we don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir. This is Factor Métayer. Am I to understand you have orders from the Abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Oh. Very well. Come inside and we'll see this sorted. Building on the left.
Yes, right over here. You're not getting down below until you talk to me. So, the Abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Wait, is that an Auntie's Choice enhanced soldier with you? Oh, I see what this is. Stay back. We have no desire to escalate things further. Don't do something you'll regret.
We want answers, not a fight. And if indeed there's any retribution to be had, it won't be by my hand. Tell him, Commander.
Surely. Far be it from me to question the irreproachable prudence of an enigmatic caller. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the Abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. The recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. We have no desire to resume open warfare with Auntie's Choice. One of our transport pods, filled with Zeranium, was diverted toward, or more specifically at, their location. Though functionally correct, I assure you. The transport pods are fired into space, where they are collected for redistribution. To date, no one has ever misused them for this purpose, despite the explosive nature of the material. Fortunately, we have potentially identified the culprit, and we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations. No, it doesn't add up particularly well, does it? Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. A move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. No, thankfully. Not yet, at any rate. Architect willing, that will be the last of it. Now, you'd best speak with our proctor. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results.
Evidently originated here. Transport pod full of Zeranium. Blue outpost opportunity to naught but tinges and flinders. Wait, so has it been classified as an accident? What I'd like to know is why our illustrious heroes beforehand. The Proctor's a low-functioning functionary at best. I mean, just look at this mess. That explosion.
Well, running a manufactory must require extraordinary seriousness.
Little good that's doing us now. Little good that'll do us when Antes arrives. What are you doing up here? How did you get past the gate? Forgive me. All this business with the lockdown puts one on edge. Everything appeared routine at the time. We launch transport pods into space regularly. They get collected. The Zeranium we refine here is used for power. It wasn't until we heard the explosion that anyone knew anything out of the ordinary had happened. I ran a systems audit on the launch sequence afterwards. Just finished constructing a report on my findings, actually, if you'd like to hear it. Anomalous event caused by unknown factors. Transport pod M7, containing a full hold of refined Zeranium, bound for orbital platform Z9, received a priority reroute command. Latitude and longitude coordinates corresponded to the Antes Choice facility known as Outpost Opportunity. Altitude, however, matched 1,000 meters below sea level. Terminal input functions down below in operations. The low-ranking scientist who launched the pod is inside. Regrettably, that is all I know. Now, if you'll excuse me.
must stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately. Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this. You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast? I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something? I demand your unconditional surrender and... Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Things have been a mite haywire.
Yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. I oversee this manufactory and all personnel, including those here under false pretenses. Apparently like this Initiate Alva. It's plainly obvious what her story is. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Not all of us spend every waking moment at probabilistic analysis. Some have even more difficult roles to play. Administration, for example. Those dedicated wholly to the math do still miss things regularly, I should add. Calculating the probability of events, well, it's something of an imprecise science currently. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alva seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand trying to pry free the outer doors. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. Fervent professements of innocence, mostly. You know, exactly what you'd expect a secret traitress to claim. Dramatic attestations that grew quite animated. I suppose spies must build up a flair for histrionics. What with all that, hiding their identities and all. Then bursting forth like a pent-up arachnid. At any rate, I have work to do, and you have a saboteur to eliminate, yes? Whatever for. We've already established her guilt. Failed to see the use, frankly. I suppose some limited nosing about before dispatching her wouldn't hurt. Presuming she doesn't kill us all in the meantime. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she's no longer a problem.
described of arachnid's commissary as slavering when it attacked. How much viscous fluid would you estimate was involved?
I don't know anything about the fluid's volume. Thing attacked. I shot it. There's goo all over the spot it emerged. Measure that, maybe.
Of course she's hiding something. You think those two exemplars just fell wrong? They're hardly prone to involuntary self-injury.
2 exemplars, dead as Pythagoras.
Alva's
No
been
one's
here
been
for
inside operations
how
yet?
many years? I never noticed her. Just blended in with the scenery somehow.
To yourself. You're disproving your own substantiation. Her actions prove otherwise.
Investigator.
I contend.
Factor said head on in.
Glad those not skilled at math can fulfill some other function. I only question them being in roles of significant authority. May the plan guide you. Investigator. May all your theories prove true.
Oh, hello. A visitor. Who is it they're sending now? And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire? Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who is that you brought with you? A friend? Ah, an Auntie's Choice grafted soldier. You poor dear. And someone else. Another Earth Directorate agent, I see. Seems sad.
Is she talking about me?
All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. Oh, believe you me, I'd like to know that more than anyone. I am thoroughly unaware how anyone would think me capable of all this. Suppose that's an apt description. For years, I've conducted the launching of transport pods here. Push this button then that one the next. I am a simple, unremarkable factotum, an everyday order initiate, well at ease in her small role within the plan. It's all a mistake, compounded by hearsay, miscommunication, and faulty conclusions. Yes, that was terrible. I feel awful. Though technically speaking, they did kill each other. There was a scuffle. Their weapons fired. It was a most unfortunate thing. Dear me, I wish I did, but... Actually, There may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing record should contain all relevant details regarding the launch. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you and open a path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. If you need to hear me say it, surely. I promise not to destroy this facility with all of us in it. Was that reassuring enough? Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found something. May the plan favor us against long odds.
May circumstances proceed toward intended results. Patrol's back, I hear. Don't see Auntie's being too dissuaded by them, though.
Our Earth Directorate friend.
Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time.
The Factor is less accusatory in his questioning than certain others, which I respect. Good manners cost nothing, I always say.
Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. A recent security audit brought up several curious messages meant for an unknown party, sent from a terminal somewhere on the premises. We were unable to track down the whereabouts of this mystery terminal, but one message contained certain oblique references to placing blame. Nothing conclusive, yet enough to give me pause.
You examined the launch records, yes? Did you find anything, dear? I'd say they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that odor you detected, a sign of chemicals used to effect the falsification. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. There should be ample time for regret later, dear. For now, I'll admit the armchair investigator in me wonders about Proctor Svoboda. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zeranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think? I expect the Zeranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit.
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
Oh, I'm full of hidden depths, dear, but this isn't the time. Later, I promise. Anything you want to know, from my first science crush to my scientician aptitude test scores. All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender.
Always account for standard deviation.
Had plenty of managers like Svoboda back on Tau Ceti. Couldn't take responsibility for nothing.
Yes, suppose you'll do. I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zeranium overflow vending has gone completely haywire. Oh, what else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? I was ordered to keep watch until a specialist arrives. Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zeranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. Well, as a fellow student of science, you'll be especially interested in what I have to offer. We developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas? It's yours. Tremendous. Why, this day may average toward the positive yet.
May deliberate endeavors beget expected results.
You know, I imagine the actual perpetrators becoming pretty nervous right about now. I mean, they must have believed their plan was flawless. But problems began to mount. Errors started to multiply.
You're back. I see my choice in you was well-founded. Zeranium overflow venting has returned to a non-haywire state. and my internal levels of disquietude have lessened along with it. With the leak abated, I am fully prepared to be peppered with queries. Now that you mention it, yes. I recall I was worried about one crisis, and my mind was completely occupied by this other crisis nearby. I must admit, I haven't given the attack a single thought since. I do hope everyone's okay. Not much. Keeps to herself mostly. Or that is entirely. Like all of us, she resided in the barracks 15 degrees to the northeast from here. You mean just after the attack occurred? I was in a state of anxiety at the time, and, well, I'm sure you're aware higher levels of cortisol can impede the encoding of memory. I am greatly grateful you were helpful and effective. Farewell. This card will allow you into our humble little research lab. It's right past operations, can't miss it, unless you do. The pharmaceutical primer I mentioned is inside on display.
Factor's been in there a while now. Perhaps this conundrum is approaching a solution.
You'd think if she were responsible for the attack, she'd have happily thrown it in my face.
Over here!
Time to earn my commission.
Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist can provide you, a heroic individual who is... And, of course, I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Strange question, but yes, all commands path through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush, or both. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way. Careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured.
Investigator.
Perhaps it would be advantageous to... No, that won't function optimally. Well, we could... No, but if they deploy Manosaurs, we'd be better served having it... Do you have a specific matter requiring discussion with me that cannot be postponed? I'm rather preoccupied at the moment. That's not... Yes. Your assessment is absolutely accurate. Making a final decision over what to prioritize in the construction of this trench, given my current resources, has been a substantially more difficult task than I first estimated. Auntie's forces have pushed us from our initial trench line into our fallback trench, thus making it the new primary trench. Despite the fact that we are currently holding back Auntie's forces at the new, more narrow front, this leaves us in the unenviable position of requiring a new fallback trench. That being said, we shouldn't need another trench line. Our analysis shows us that Auntie's simply lacks the resources to push through the current front line. However, there is a vanishingly slim chance that Auntie's has more resources in transit outside of the Arcadian system that we simply haven't accounted for yet. Correct. In this case, standardized algorithms, which includes a Poisson distribution method, using the data we accrued from years of tracking the frequency of different attacks. Unfortunately, I find myself in the extremely unlikely and distressing position of having these algorithms inform me that every type of attack is exactly equally probable, and thus my dilemma. Many, unfortunately. Anti's human soldiery, raptidons, mantisaurs, scrappers, and even wild arachnids. In summary, many and varied. Alas, I lack the resources and time. I appreciate your input, though. Perhaps it would be advantageous to... No, that won't function optimally. Or we could... No, but if they deploy Manosaurs, we'd be better served having it the other way around.
I've observed you in these trenches before. You are aware this is a war zone, correct?
Approaching from the north, hold fire. Attention, Freelancer, you are currently heading into no man's land. We strongly recommend you return. Freelancer, you are currently heading into no man's land. We strongly recommend you return. Attention, freelancer, you are currently heading into no man's land. We strongly recommend you return. Attention, freelancer, you are currently heading into no man's land. We strongly recommend you return.
Halt. What is your destination? Leaving with that heading will bring you in direct contact with the forces of Auntie's choice.
This is the last bastion of control before no man's land. I am unsure of who assigned you permission to be at this locale, but please refrain from impeding our operations.
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander. The heat off you, Commander. Just say when. Let me know when you needed a stretch.
My aftermarket parts are prime.
Anomalous outliers! Anomalous anomalies!
Identifying unknown unknowns. Present coordinates yield diminishing returns. Give the order.
Anomalism!
I wasn't aware our situation had become dire enough to warrant the employment of mercenaries. This is mildly distressing.
Oh.